Uh, Back again, Berto States, and my good friend Anibal. How's it going, Anibal?
Anibal. I'm doing great. My name's Anibal Zavala with Elite Mortgage Group and been working with Berto for quite some time. And we're going to go over the home buying process, the quick 10 steps into getting into a home.
Yep, let's do this. All right, so the first thing that we want to go ahead and cover is pre-approval. You want to go ahead and let them know what a pre-approval consists of?
Sure. So the pre-approval process is just a way of me getting an insight into your financial situation, you know, how ready you are to purchase a home and also how much home you can afford. And the way I do that is, of course, we started with initial conversation. And then once it's, I find that it is a good time for us to move forward, then we're going to go ahead and request some documents so we can do a review process. Now, those documents are going to include 1 month of pay stubs, the last 2 years of your W-2s, 2 years of taxes, 2 months of bank statements, and we're also going to do a credit check to make sure there are not any outstanding debts or liabilities. And your financial profile is going to allow us to see just how much you're approved for, and not just the purchase price, but also the monthly payment. We want to make sure that that fits within your budget. Just because you can afford a $5,000 payment, that might not be what you're looking for at the end of the day. So your monthly payment is going to give me the answer to what the purchase price is going to be. So if a $5,000 payment meant a $750,000 home, and you said I'm looking for a $3,500 payment, then maybe we should be looking at a $600,000 home. So that's what's going to allow me to get that information. And what we would like to do is get you what's called a complete pre-approval package. So we ask for these documents to make sure that when you are looking for a home, that you're ready to purchase within the next few weeks and not have to go through this process later on. So once we collect these documents, again, it's going to give us a good idea, and I'm going to be able to give this over to Berto. And of course, once Berto has it, you as a client already have an understanding of how much you can afford, not just on a monthly basis, but your overall purchase price. And that leads us to step 2, which is I hand over the pre-approval package to Berto. Now, Berto, take it away.
Definitely. So once we have the pre-approval, this is where officially we do the meet and greet with the agent. This is where the process starts with gathering your criteria, finding homes within your criteria, finding homes within your budget, setting up appointments within with the seller's agents to go ahead and get you guys into properties so you guys are able to go see it, the properties yourself. And then after that, we go ahead and once you find a property that you actually love, that's when we go ahead and start submitting offers. Submitting offers just only opens up your options to getting an offer accepted. So one thing I do recommend is only submit offers on properties that you truly see yourself living in. And then that just kind of opens up the options, to getting something good. After we go ahead and get an offer accepted, that's when we go ahead and basically get escrow open. And then after that, then it goes back to my friend right here, to Anibal. You want to go ahead and let them know what escrow consists of?
Sure. So escrow is not only a period of time, but it's also a company that holds the funds of the transaction before the transaction is complete. So it's a third-party company, and their job is, they do a few verifications, but like I said, they hold on to the money until the contract is closed, and then they disperse the funds. So during this period, once we open escrow, that's the time that the earnest money deposit is going to be requested. Now, the earnest money deposit is a percentage of your of the total purchase price, and that's usually a part of your down payment. So to give you an example, if the earnest money deposit that you put on the contract was $5,000 and your down payment was $20,000, then you would put the 5, and by the time you have to send the remainder of your down payment, you'd only be sending $15,000 because you already initially put in $5,000. So the reason for the earnest money deposit is also so that you're proving to the seller that you're really interested in purchasing this property. Now, in terms of the negotiation, sometimes people will put higher earnest money deposits just to make their offers more attractive, but that's not always necessary. So in the escrow period, we're going to be doing a few things, including finalizing the taxes on the property, seeing exactly how much it's going to cost. We're going to be seeing exactly how much the insurance is going to cost, and we're going to be giving you a final payment during these next steps. So one of the first things that we do during the escrow process is we order the appraisal, and we're always going to order this on a rush because in our business, the quicker, the better. It's going to make things more efficient and less headaches for everyone involved, especially you as a buyer and also for the seller. So what we do during the first step of escrow, which is step 5 here, is we order the appraisal. Now, the appraisal is an appraiser goes out to the property and makes sure that it's worth what they're selling it for. And the reason this is very important is because the bank will not lend out more than what the property is worth. What does this mean? This means that if you're looking to buy a property for $500,000 and the appraisal comes back at $400,000, they will only lend you up to the appraised value of $400,000. And then you can either go back with Berto and negotiate to lower the price, or if the seller is really adamant and they believe their house is worth what it is, then you can decide to come up with the rest out of pocket. Because like I said, the bank will not lend you anything over the appraised value. Now, in addition to the appraisal going out there, there's another person that goes out there, which is ordered by Norberto. And Berto, go ahead and speak a little bit more about that. You're muted, brother. You're muted.
So once an appraisal is ordered, another thing that I go ahead and do for you guys is we start setting up appointments with investigation for inspecting the properties. So basically, what you do is you're gonna go ahead and order your home inspectors, termite inspectors. If the property has a septic tank, you're gonna go ahead and find an inspector that's gonna go ahead and come out there and pump and certify the septic tank. And then all of this is just basically for your peace of mind, so you know what you're getting yourself into. Once we get inspection completed, we also have what we call a R&R, which is a request for repairs. That's where you go ahead and submit a request to get something repaired that you consider, you might want the seller to fix. But the same way that you have the option to request a repair, the seller also has the option to not have to fix the repair. After that, we just go ahead and we send it over back to Aníbal, I believe, right?
Yeah, once we have the information that we require, the appraiser comes back and gives us the value of the property, and it's all, let's just make it easy, right? Seller selling the property for $500,000. The appraiser says the property is worth $500,000. Now, not only do we have your documents, we have your income, we have your credit, but we also have the value of the property. Now, we submit all this to the bank, and it goes through what's called an underwriting process, which is a verification process of everything we submitted. And this is why it's very important to be honest, so that we send in the right information to also make the underwriter's job as easy as possible, so that they can give us an approval on the loan. Remember, when you go through the pre-approval process, you are simply pre-approved. You haven't been fully approved. That's why you have to go through an underwriter. So once the underwriter checks it out, then they'll give us an approval. And usually they'll do what's called an approval with conditions. So maybe we'll need to get an updated pay stub. Maybe we'll need to get an updated bank statement, a few additional documents. But other than that, once you get the approval, it's pretty much smooth sailing, and we get to what's called a clear to close. And once we have a clear to close, they're gonna release what's called a closing disclosure. The closing disclosure is gonna have the breakdown of not just your payment and what's in your payment, such as the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, but as well as where your closing costs are going. So how much escrow is getting paid, title is getting paid, realtors, all that information is gonna be there for you to review and to make sure that it's all in line and in accordance with what we had spoken about originally. Because you get a closing disclosure, but you also get what's called the loan estimate, which is what you get at the beginning of this process. The loan estimate is what has the estimated values. Again, maybe at that time we didn't have a full quote. Maybe at that time we didn't have all the tax information that we required. So by the time we get to the closing disclosure, all that information we finally have in order, and you're gonna be able to see where you're gonna be paying for over the next 30 years. And that's gonna be your opportunity to review these documents. One thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is in the loan industry, mortgages, real estate, there are a lot of documents that go out because you need to be informed. These are called disclosures, and they are legal documents. We have to send them out in a timely basis to make sure that you're getting into this and you know what you're getting into, so that there are no surprises. And this is why there's such a lack of predatory lending nowadays, because all these documents have to go out during this escrow period, again, so that you're well aware of what you're getting into, especially when it comes to a mortgage. So from there, we get into step 8. Step 8 would be sending out a notary. So you do a lot of e-signatures for the initial documents. You sign everything, a lot of stuff through your email or online. But once you're at step 8, then we order a notary to go out there with actual physical documents that you're going to sign with pen. Now, these documents, again, are legal documents to make sure you understand the loan, make sure you understand your payment, make sure that your closing costs and your payment are what we had discussed and spoken about, again, so that everything is aligned with our initial conversation. Now, once you're done with signing those documents, Now your next job is going to be to go straight to the bank and send out the remainder of your down payment to the escrow company. That way, the escrow company now has all the funds that are going to be used for the transaction. Once they have all that information and they have the signatures and they have all the money for the transaction, we have one of our favorite moments in the industry, which is called funding. Funding is a very, very important word. It's a happy word for everyone involved. It means that the bank officially funded the loan. The funds have been dispersed, so the seller got his money. The title company, escrow company, everyone's been paid out. And now it's time for our favorite part, which I'll let Berto go ahead and give you that news.
This is where we officially give you guys your keys. Congratulations. You guys have finally became homeowners. Throughout this whole process, we work step by step together. We're communicating to each other. We're making sure that everything that we do is for your guys' benefit. Us doing these type of videos, informing the public, staying in touch together, it's all for your guys' well-being. We try to, give you guys the best service, and the best service is going to come from a great team. That's something that we go ahead and do for you guys.
That's right. And we both have very different roles, but we have to work together in order to get this done. Berto's on the real estate side, they're representing you as a buyer, the negotiations, and my job is to stay in contact with the bank and make your life easy when it comes to the mortgage process. And in hopes of not asking you for too many documents, all we request and ask is that you're timely with your submission of documents, that you understand that we're not trying to scrutinize your life, but we're trying to make this process as easy as possible. And so just like these 10 steps show, we did oversimplify the process, of course, but really this is how we want it to feel. We want it to feel as easy as possible. And one thing that I want to remind you of, just like Berto mentioned, is you're going to have a lot of questions during this process. Why is the bank asking me for this? Why do I have to do that? And that's where a great team comes in, because you should always feel comfortable in contacting me either through text or call or email, and same with Berto, and asking us any questions, because we have literally nothing to hide. We want to make sure that you not only understand the process, but that you're also getting a good education, so that when it comes time to buy your second home, your investment home, your vacation home, you're going to be a lot more comfortable going through this process.
Yep. That's what we do for you, so you could go ahead and do an educated decision. Another thing that I wanted to cover was this video was basically just so you guys could kind of see what the process looks like more on the loan side. We kind of specified it a little bit more for Anibal right here, and then we'll go ahead and do another video so you guys can see a little bit more of depth of what the agent size role is. But for right now, I mean, this is what we got for you guys. And then you got anything else for them, or we're good to sign off?
We're good to sign off. Just last thing would be, if any questions on any of these slides, anything that sticks out to you that you don't understand, that you want more information on, feel free to contact me or contact Berto. We're going to leave our contact information down in the description. And again, we're here to serve you guys. We're here to make sure that you understand this, to guide you through the process, to educate you, and to really our goal and our dream is to also help you get into the home that you've been looking at. Regardless of the economy, regardless of the market, everyone deserves to purchase a home, whether it's your first, second, or investment. We're here to help. And with that said, we'll see you on the next video.
Peace out.